Tonight, does free speech protect this?
They think that the Holocaust never happened and they don't want us to tell the truth about it.
Over. You're going to offend most of the Jewish population. You're going to offend a lot of people.
Do you debate your mother with that mouth? Yes, right here on Crossballs.
Comedians posing as experts.
Pot is good for everyone.
Women are designed for sex.
Hunting is self-defense.
I drive drunk all the time.
Debating real people.
I'm not gay.
It's totally immoral.
Who don't know the show is fake.
That's a lie. You're an idiot.
Die.
Out of the crossfire, beyond hardball. This is Crossballs.
I'm Chris Tallman. Tonight, does Hollywood need to clean up its act, or is censorship the dirtiest word of all? Joining us now is the founder and host of the public access show Kids Talk TV, Ninon de Rosa. Also with us, outspoken rap artist, Truth. Thank you for being with us. Question of the day. Is there too much obscene material in the media? Ninon, let's start with you.
Absolutely too much in there. It's all over the place. It's too much for the younger generation. Why can't it be said in another way rather than be said in a pornographic way?
All right, Truth, how do you respond?
Okay, children know what's up. If you watch a show like Law & Order right now, all them cop shows, all right, all the criminals, they on there talking, you know, oh, dang it, and holy moly. Man, people don't talk that way. That's not giving you the true information. Like, if you need to know what a criminal looks like. If you come up across one of them, motherfuckers gonna come up on you and you can be like, uh-oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Truth, please, the language. Nina, respond.
I personally feel that we are giving the wrong message to the younger generation out there.
I'm real. That's what I'm all about. And when you see stuff on TV, you see violence, and you see people talking. If I call somebody motherfucker, that's a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
If I called my mother that, I would probably get a slap across the face.
I'm not gonna call my mama that. I will get a slap across the face, too, while she's calling me motherfucker. Doing it too. This is my point, though. The language thing is the way the FCC is keeping the black man from speaking his mind. Because the black man talks the way I do.
But you're going to a racial thing, Han. This is not a racial thing. I happen to know a lot of African-American people that do not swear and do not talk like that.
Not around you?
I know a lot of them.
When you turn your back and you go home, they was like, that bitch is crazy.
Oh, come on.
Maybe I'm offended by the words that white people use. Maybe I'm offended by therefore and nonetheless.
What does it matter? All right, let's move on. Truth will soon release a new video and CD which features a technique to get around obscenity laws called phoning. Explain what that means.
You know, I can't say certain words on TV, so what I'm doing is I'm replacing the letters with the corresponding numbers on the phone, on the keypad. You know, if I told you...
Does everybody get it?
Well, I mean, if you're offended by it, then don't decode it.
Oh, I wouldn't...
You know, if I say...
We have a clip from the video. Let's take a look.
Drop it.
Let's do it, yeah. Let me know you're alive. Bounce up and down on my 265. And while you're doing that, girl, you put me in heaven. Reach down and play with my 22557.
Yeah, you know what I like, baby. That's what it's all about.
Hey, where you going?
Oh, that's it.
You got no rubber, then I'll take your back gate. Then I'll 3825, you take 2888. That's the way I like it. You put me in space, so let me 286. All over your face, so let me 286. All over your face, so let me 286. All over your face.
That's how we do it. Phone it. Word up.
Don't ask me.
Total enjoyment and entertainment.
The whole thing is all about sex. It's all about the I just say
that's what we have as human beings, as grown adults. We have sex. I like having sex.
Is this not suggesting to the younger generation, this is what you do, and this is how you do it, and you have two women, and you have the bottle of champagne, and this is what you do now?
I hope to God my son has two women.
It does not have profanity in it, so I want to get...
It was very suggestive. They're now using numbers.
So
it's meant to his private part.
But they're not swearing.
You need a good 3824.
But it's very suggestive, extremely suggestive.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever 3824?
Have I ever had a 3824?
Yes.
No,
have you ever 3824?
I don't think so.
See, well, that's your problem. You need 3824, and you need to do it at the 277. That gets
so
you right.
Do you think all these kids out there understand what you're talking about?
All right, let's move on.
Who knows?
Was the Janet Jackson incident bad or blown out of proportion? Truth.
You know what? I look at Janet Jackson as the new Rosa Parks. Seriously.
Really?
In fact, she's better than Rosa Parks because I never got to see Rosa Parks' titties. It's a joke.
What?
She might not have liked that.
Who, Rosa Parks? Yeah. She too old to get it. My point is this. Janet Jackson is blazing trails in race relations right now because it used to be that y'all didn't look at black women as sexual creatures. Y'all look at them like animals. Well, now, you're forced to look at her as a sexual creature. There's a lot of white men out there liking that and wanting to put their mouth on that stuff.
But
you know
do you think
Hang on, let me finish.
She's blazing trails in race relations because the first step in getting somebody to respect you if they hate you is for them to want to you.
So did she... This is a Sunday afternoon on family television. You've got all the families there. You've got all the young kids. Do you think that's right?
Babies see breasts all the time. I'm saying, you know...
I'm not saying about
you know what I'm saying? Well,
babies.
you think a baby forgot what the breast looked like and then they don't get to see it again until they're 21?
Well,
ain't nothing but a titty.
All right.
For the very young.
Coming up, is the Holy Trinity an awesome threesome?
God hates people who walk past. That's what I'm talking about.
What? Stay tuned. Should foreigners be forced to lose their accents when they come to America?
They're stealing our jobs.
You're picking strawberries in the hot sun for 12 hours a day?
I don't like strawberries.
Welcome back. Tonight's topic, obscenity in the media. Does Hollywood need to be more holy? Joining us now is movie critic and author of the book Death by Hollywood, Holly McClure. Also with us, President of Development at Holy Spirit Productions, Mary Donovan. Big question. Does sex and violence in the media go against classic Christian values? Holly, let's start with you.
I think probably Christians are more sensitive to it because of the background where they come from, because there is a relative moral standards where they come from, so it offends their standards. But I think as a culture, it should be offensive to all of us if it's extreme.
All right, Mary, how do you respond?
I think we need, as Christians, to show more of God's violence, more of God's sex. The Bible has it all. You know, they say there's sex and violence in the media. There is far more sex and far more violence in the Bible. And I think as Christians, we need to show that. We need to embrace that.
So you agree with pornography?
I think pornography, you know, is closer in many ways to what the Bible has in it than what a lot of this whitewashed, sort of warm, fuzzy, white light Christianity is trying to pass off as God's word.
Help me understand.
We need to see the sinning, and I thought that was something really wonderful about The Passion of the Christ, is it showed.
All right, Holly, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I worked on The Passion. I did a behind-the-scenes special for it. I was with Mel. I was on set, so I know what they went through. I know his feelings on it. Mel said, actually, he was very tame. It could have been a lot more violent than it was. It was in context. The key word here is in context with the story.
Mary!
95% of Christians are against pornography. And pornography has many of the same elements that are all over the Bible. If you really look at it and you really read it, what's wrong with just showing the repercussions? What happens when you have anal sex? Let's show eyes bleeding. Let's show devils running out and eating the sinful couple. Be creative, be arty, you know.
Wait. In a porn?
Yes!
In a porn, you want to see a couple having sex and then devils run out and eat them.
Yes, I do. You think porn is realistic? You think porn is realistic?
Nina,
what I'm saying is unrealistic? Having 5 women?
Hang on, one at a time. Nina.
Well, I'm going to start reading between the lines of the Bible, because I'm obviously reading a different Bible than you're reading.
All right, Holly, what do you get your response? What do you think about that?
The danger you're running is you're making it a freak show. You're making Christianity a freak show, and you're making the whole thing a sin being that way.
Yes, there are many ways to interpret the Bible, and some people might interpret it as a freak show. Many people try to. Frankly, I am in talks with networks, which I cannot name right now, to tell the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and it will be 2.5 hours of hardcore, biblically accurate gang, and it will be listen to me, it will be very difficult to watch, and it will get people talking about religion again. I can guarantee you.
So you're basically going off the coattails of The Passion then, and what Mel started with The Passion. That's what you want to pick up on, because you realize you can make some good money off of it, and you realize you can capitalize on it right now.
But he's better than I am?
I didn't say he was better. I said he did it first. But being graphic is what you're saying.
She offended because...
You know what, he's not...
One at a time. One at a time, go.
She offended because Mel Gibson is obviously her friend, because she uses him by his first name. She keep referring to him by his first name, so that's her buddy.
Wait, there's a giant elephant in the room. Nobody's talking about it. She wants to do a 2.5-hour documentary about Sodom and Gomorrah with anal gang rape.
You don't have to show anal gang rape to still do the story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes, you do. It's about Sodom. It's called Sodom and Gomorrah.
It's just ridiculous, and you're going for sensationalism, and I think it makes you look like an idiot.
We sent our cameras with Mary Donovan when she volunteered her time at St. Thomas Christian Children's Day Camp. Let's take a look.
Now, we all know the story of Noah's Ark, right? Right? How he got all the animals onto the ark 2 by 2. But why 2 by 2? Huh? Well, to answer that question, I wrote a song, and it's called Sex Ark. And it goes something like this. As soon as Noah got the animals on the ark, it started to rain and it got very dark. Noah lit some scented candles, he was set in the mood, and the animals got randy and they started getting rude. Well, the dog gave his bitch a bone. The ass was getting the ass. Hee-haw! The chimpanzee had monkey sex with his chimpanzee lass. The elephant's penis was as big as his trunk. He f***ed so hard that the ark nearly sunk. Well, the crocodile's tears got in some vertical smile, and the dogs, they were doing it doggy style. The lion and the tiger did it interracial, and the horse gave the nag a nice warm facial. In case you didn't know it, this story has a moral. If you want to procreate, don't do oral. That was fun, huh?
To do that in front of kids really shames you. I mean, that's shame on you. If you really did that in front of these kids,
do animals not procreate?
That's not the issue, Mary. We know good and well.
What is the issue? What is the issue?
Hang on a second. So you're actually doing this with kids at this church group?
Well, you know, I volunteer quite a bit, and I also directed a Christmas pageant. We focused on the nativity scene, not unlike our good friend, your good friend, rather, Mr. Gibson. It showed the more human side of Christ, and you actually saw the baby head of Jesus crowning from the dilated cervix of Mary. You saw her afterbirth. You saw the blood. Guess what? Everybody sat up and said, you know what? Wow.
Who wants to see a baby crowning in a play?
Do you think it's clean? Do you think there's no blood when a child is born?
I think it's very, very sick.
Of course I don't think that, and I've never said that. But to put it in a play, look, you know, there's got to be some chaste and some modesty somewhere at some point. And what you're trying to show and expose kids to is just stupid.
Coming up, does the F and FM radio stand for the F word? More Crossballs when we return. Joining us now via satellite is Cincinnati shock jock Matt Johnson, known to his listeners as the Big Johnson, and his sidekick Lil Balls. Burning issue. You've just been fired from your 3rd job as a talk radio DJ.
Hold on, Chris, can I sub up your second act?
All right. All right. Now you can answer my question. While you're on the show, you just got fired from your 3rd job. What happened?
Well, we're not doing anything wrong. We're just out here speaking the truth, Chris.
You can't handle the truth.
Can you answer the question now?
All right, they're so scared of fines, you know, they won't let us talk about what's true, you know?
What is it you're trying to say that they're not letting you?
Well, here's an example. The first show I was fired from, I worked in Little Rock on Country 104, and my tagline was, "You're listening to Big Johnson on Tree 104.
Tree 104.
That's Tree 104. Can you believe that, Chris?
Tree 104.
We are fired for saying Tree.
Big John, stop saying that.
Luke, you are my son.
Don't
Chris,
talk
we
like
all
that.
live in a
Don't talk like
country, don't we?
That is completely inappropriate.
Sounds bad.
The majority of people don't want to hear that coming out of a radio. So they're driving to school.
Oh, good.
I don't know what time your show is on. Or they've got the kids in the car and you're talking like this. What does the mother say or the father say to their kids?
Do we live in a tree or not?
Country 104.
No idea.
Guys, seriously, stop with the language or I'm going to just stop this altogether. Do you understand? All right.
Yes, General Bukata.
All right, let's move on. I don't even know if I want to know about this. Your bit called Where Am I Masturbating?
We had our listeners go out somewhere in the public and masturbate, and judging by the echo and background sound, we had to try to guess where they were masturbating. If we couldn't guess, we gave them a money prize.
All right, Holly, what do you think?
You know, for anyone to even want to listen to that or even want to contribute to it, I mean, come
all
on.
you're doing is saying we're offensive without saying why.
You don't have to say why. When you're an idiot and you're stupid and you're offensive,
People masturbate, lady.
No one needs to explain.
Hey,
The mentality of a 4-year-old or 5-year-old child, well, you know, everyone else is a little bit more intelligent.
I want to ask you, though, do you masturbate?
You know, that's an even...
Hang on a second, let's not...
Something I'm going to even address.
Well, I know anybody that dates you is masturbating.
Matt, hang on. Let's talk about your most recent firing. Last week, your show sponsored a necrophilia contest where you offered a prize to the listener who would take a photo of themselves having sex with a real corpse.
All right, Chris, the way you just said it made it sound bad. This is what happened. Our winner, actually, his wife died, and they were very much in love when they died.
Norman, is that you?
They just wanted to continue their loving relationship after death. Tell me what's wrong with continuing a loving relationship after death.
Yeah, Adrian.
Well, there's no feelings.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're dead. And according
You think
to
there's no soul? You think people don't have a soul? That lady that just said something?
No, but they're dead.
But she has a soul.
Have you ever seen a dead body?
Of course I have. I have it in Polaroids from the contest winners.
Have you ever, no, I mean personally seen, not a photograph, personally seen a dead body. Have you ever seen one?
You know what I know? I can't hold it much longer, Captain.
The point is this, you know, that you're trying to propose something that is offensive to most people. Most people who are reasonable people is offensive to make a contest out of it, to subjectify people to dead corpses and say that's fun and that's
their
entertaining.
choice. Hey, Chris, I didn't dig the grave. Chris, I didn't dig the grave. I didn't open the casket. I didn't stick my rock hard dong in their wrinkled.
Hey! Matt, I'm serious. Matt, stop with the language now. I'm not kidding. Knock it off. I'm going to pull you from the show.
Anymore.
Do you understand?
Okay, I'm sorry. Puss-gina.
All right. Coming up, one of the first Hollywood movies, black and white and blue. More Crossballs when we return. Welcome back. Is obscenity in the movies as old as the Hollywood Hills? Joining us now via satellite is film historian Andrew Fredericks. Mr. Fredericks, I think we all have this image of Hollywood having gotten progressively more risque. Now, you say that isn't the case.
All right. There was a film in 1916 called Betty Faces the Musicians, it was called. It was about a girl who liked to get facials from the boys in the band. In 1922, this was outlawed. You couldn't do it anymore. And so that's where it came from, the pie in the face. The pie, you've all seen a pie in the face. Now, what's funny about getting a pie in the face? Nothing, unless you know what it's supposed to represent, which was a facial.
Is there any truth that obscenity actually goes back to the origin of film?
I'm sure, but it was nothing like it is now. It's like anything. Everything gets out of hand. And that time, it was probably absolutely horrified if somebody came out with a swear word.
Do you know, when it comes to cursing, and I know people get excited about cursing, there was cursing in the silent film era. Of course, you couldn't hear it. If somebody got a safe landed on their foot or they fell off a train or something, they would say a curse word, and you would get to lip read and say, I wonder which one it was. Try and see if you can guess which curse word I'm going to mouth right now. Mother.
Mr. Fredericks, you didn't mouth that.
I know.
You said that.
My grandson just told me that just now. My grandson just told me that I said it out loud. I apologize. I'm hard of hearing, and I don't know whether I... But anyway, let me give you an example of a film character named Boner McGee. And the thing about it was that got him into trouble, Boner McGee, was that he had a 2-foot-long penis that would become erect at the drop of a hat. Now, this is my point about it. When these films were popular, people didn't think it was sexual. It was just something that made them laugh. It was like Chaplin's baggy pants.
Let's take a look at a clip from Boner McGee in A Sweet Dessert.
And people loved it. And the thing they loved about it was that he was an everyman, and he had problems, and he had this, in his case...
If he was every man, I would love to see most of the men back then, because I don't think that's every man.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
And that's all the time we have. We'll see you next time when more experts get caught between the crossballs. Good night.
Tonight at 11, special guest Spike Lee, plus Clinton bashing, why he's building a shrine to the 90s fad that's hot again.
Because Clinton lied all the time. Are you going to hang about how chubby he is?
The Daily Show with Jon Stewart tonight at 11 on Comedy Central. Crank Yankers. New episodes start Tuesday at 10:30. Comedy Central, what?